Be without quarterback Cam Newton through at least Thursday. That's after a misunderstanding between the team and Newton over COVID-19 testing that took place away from the Patriots facility. Head coach Bill Belichick says that Newton will jump right back into starting reps once he returns, but the focus remains on strategy for now.
This week's another opportunity for us to, spend a couple days here working on things that obviously we need to work on, both fundamentally.
All of Newton's tests came back negative, but the snag lies within the NFL's COVID-19 protocols. This as the Jacksonville Jaguars placed linebacker Josh Allen on their COVID reserve list Monday. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
WFLA News Time is 6:05. Find more stories online at WFLAOrlando.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WFLA Orlando. The first hour of Good Morning Orlando starts now.
Good Tuesday morning to you. We are so glad you're with us on the 50,000-watt front porch. Bud Heading around Inspector and Melissa Fox with you till 9 o'clock. Lots of talk about things related to COVID vaccines in the wake of the FDA finally giving full approval of the vaccines, no longer just for emergency authorization. And is that a game changer for you or anyone you know, in your opinion, who has been resistant to getting the shots? Got to wait until we get the full approval, then I'll do it. What about you? If you're in that boat, give us a call, 407-916-5400, or text us at 23680. Vaccine mandates at work, we're going to be talking about them. Mask mandates for Orange County schools. How are parents going to react if that happens? Lots of Afghanistan talk. Let me talk, first of all, though, on the way in this morning, I gathered data for an exclusive Gas Bud update. And I think it's time to play Wait for the Truck if you want to save a little money on your gas, all right? Because I saw a bunch of stations suddenly have dropped a dime to $2.89 a gallon. Now, it's not a lot of money, but if you're filling 20, 30 gallons, it's a couple of bucks anyway that's in your pocket that wouldn't be otherwise. So $2.99, they're gouging you. It's coming down. The next truck's going to drop it a dime. I predict everybody will go to $2.89. So what about it, guys? Here's your Gas Bud update.
I appreciate it, Gas Bud. This may not be the end of the drop in gas prices. AAA yesterday reported that we saw a 4-cent drop in the average statewide price over the past week, and AAA predicted prices in the next coming weeks could drop 20 cents a gallon.
Hey, bring it on. I'm liking that. How about we get it on in terms of the show, Alan?
All right. An update of Orlando's news, weather, and traffic. We'll get it going in 2 minutes on Good Morning Orlando. It's 6:08.
Response to International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event has been incredible, but this is it, the final days. You have until August 31st to take advantage of the year's most attractive offer. Get IDC's amazing value price and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. And as a special bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. It's incredible, and everything's included. GIA certified diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, thousands of engagement rings, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, pendants, bands, bracelets, the largest selection ever. Get her that $3,000 diamond band and pay just $84 a month. Or if you prefer, you can get an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands during this incredible event. But there's just one catch. This spectacular Summer of Savings event ends Tuesday, August 31st at 6 p.m. and will not be extended. So hurry, pick any item, take advantage of 3 years 0 interest financing, and let IDC even cover your first 2 payments. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Tax problems can be extremely stressful and cause financial devastation. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Orlando to be your personal advocate and resolve your IRS or state sales tax issues. J. David Tax Law focuses on your needs and case outcomes. Don't be fooled by out-of-town tax companies that focus only on signing you up without even working with an attorney. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, or unfiled returns, have a face-to-face with J. David Tax Law and get the help you need. Never trust your tax situation to anyone you can't walk in and look in the eye. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
Have questions about mortgages? Listen and call in to Money Talks with Trustco Bank, Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Broadcasting from the Mills Air Studios. For all your AC needs, go to millsair.com to schedule an appointment.
From the Airflow Designs Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by New South Factory Direct Windows.
Things are quiet on I-4 from Deltona to the attractions. We've got roadwork taking up the right lanes of the ramp from the westbound 408 to Florida's Turnpike. The northbound Greenway is closed at Reinhardt Road with construction. Southbound Florida's Turnpike has roadwork north of State Road 60 in the right lane. And the right lane of the ramp from the eastbound Beach Line to 436 is closed with roadwork. Have a crash at Gatlin and Fern Creek. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
From the Airflow Designs Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather Forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
Take the shortcut to your next great hire. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, Instant Match immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Local headlines now. Health officials say kids between the ages of 5 and 14 now account for the highest percentage of new COVID-19 infections in Orange County. New cases among the kids in this age group represent about 20% of all new infections countywide. 80 to 90% of recent cases in Orange County have been identified as related to the Delta variant. Updates at least every 10 minutes in the top stories here on Good Morning Orlando.
Now on FM 94.1, still on FM 93.1, 107.7 HD3, AM 540, and the iHeart Radio app. This is News Radio WFLA Orlando.
That stat out of Orange County, with kids accounting for the largest percentage of any age group of vaccines, that there's no coincidence. That's 2 weeks after schools start or whatever, you know. And this is further pressure on the Orange County School Board today, not that they need it because I think they're headed in that direction, to not only discuss a mask mandate for kids that would, you know, put them running afoul of state law and heading for a showdown with Governor DeSantis, but I wouldn't be surprised if a discussion leads to a vote today. And if they vote, I think you're going to see them vote for a mask mandate. Now, how would you feel about that? It's the 8th largest school district in America. A lot of you listening have kids in the Orange County school system. Would you be happy if they voted for a mask mandate for kids? Do you think they would be safer and we'd keep things as under control as we can? Or would that cause you to say, I'm taking my kids out, that's a deal breaker, I'm gone? And if you do that, tell me, what would be your plan B for educating your kids? Because the options are limited. I think the signups for virtual school have closed. There's no longer the Launch Ed in Orange County, which was, you know, hybrid. You were working from the computer, but you were still a part of the class. That doesn't exist. The state did not fund that this year. So what do? Instantly homeschool them? Impractical for most parents. Or would you just have to say, I hate it, but okay, I'm in. My kids stay with the masks on. 407-916-5400, text line 23680. But now there's the other issue, and that is reaction to the FDA's long-awaited full approval for use of the Pfizer vaccine. Will that get you to get the shot if you so far have not? And if so, why is that the deal maker? If not, well, why not at this point? You tell us. 407-916-5400. Text line 23680. President Biden yesterday from the White House, I thought, talking down to us all like we were kids who were completely clueless. Pretty much saying, all right, gang, we got the full approval you wanted. You better go out and get the shot now, kids.
So let me say this loudly and clearly. If you're one of the millions of Americans who said that they will not get the shot until it has full and final approval of the FDA, it has now happened. The moment you've been waiting for is here. It's time for you to go get your vaccination and get it today. Today.
Kids, everybody get in line now. Time to get your shot.
I couldn't get past loudly and clearly. There's a
He doesn't do loudly and
There's
clearly.
no loudly and clearly going on. There's lean in and creep you out.
And there is, and whispery and stumbly.
Yes.
Yeah, we do that. What about it, Melissa? Is this going to get the folks who wouldn't get vaccinated off the fence? A lot of people have told us here, I'm not going to get the shot. That's only for emergency use. I want it fully approved by the FDA, and then maybe I'll do it. What do you think? Does it move the needle much or not?
Well, looking as a skeptic and cynical person that I can be, I see them pushing their own goalposts back by going, really? It's approved? After how long? What? Haven't they done the usual test? There's always going to be something, whether it's, and I can politicize it, it's one side or the other, but in reality, no matter what you throw at somebody, they're going to have a contention.
People say, well, God, what took you so long? It is still, reportedly, twice as fast as something like this gets full approval normally from the FDA. So it, relatively speaking, as slow as it seems, is fast-tracked. So what's your reaction to full approval of the Pfizer vaccine? Are you in or are you not? What are you thinking here this morning? Let us know on the phones at 407-916-5400, on the text line 23680. Hey, a word from my friends at FAS Windows and Doors. So many folks are in for home improvement projects right now. They have 10% off for you right now at FAS, and you can call them for a free consultation on your project. They've got experts on just how to design whatever you're doing new and the window and door component to it, because FAS is the largest volume window and door dealer in all of Central Florida, offering you now at FAS instant rebates of $95 off on doors, $55 off on every window. You got to love that. FAS. Go get to know them at their showrooms. See everything they have for you. Talk to their experts on windows and doors. Fairbanks by I-4 in Winter Park. Tell them the Budman sent you when you drop in. They'll take great care of you. Website has more. It's FASWD.com, FASWD.com.
Bridgewater is a new fiction podcast starring Supernatural's Misha Collins, Teen Wolf's Melissa Ponzio, and Castle's Nathan Fillion. It's a place closer than you think and far stranger than you can imagine, where monsters roam freely, where the past doesn't stay buried, where you never know what's lurking around the corner.
I think there's a lot that we don't know about. Monsters, wormholes, witchcraft. This is a strange place, this part of the country.
Listen to Bridgewater on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is, you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell can help guide you through all aspects of divorce. let us be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
This portion of News Radio WFLA Orlando is brought to you by the WFLA Home Improvement Show, Saturday mornings at 9.
This report is sponsored by Nader Law Firm.
Things are quiet on I-4 now from Deltona to the attractions. The northbound greenway is closed at Reinhardt Road with construction. Eastbound on the beach line, construction takes up the right lane of the exit ramp to 436. And westbound, there's a traffic barrel on the roadway around 436. Have a car bumper in the roadway westbound on the 408 near Orange Blossom Trail. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Auto accident, bankruptcy, immigration, insurance claims? Call attorney Fannie Nader at Nader Law Firm at 407-688-8896. That's 407-688-8896. Offices Orlando.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
Central Florida headlines for you now. COVID having a personal impact on the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Christopher Broadhead passed away yesterday from the virus at the age of 32. Sheriff Grady Judd says about 50 deputies have COVID in Polk County now, including 4 who were hospitalized. And he says the virus in Polk County is like a raging wildfire. Sheriff Grady Judd, who calls them as he sees them, as you know. Updates at least every 10 minutes in our top stories here on Good Morning Orlando.
From News Radio WFLA Orlando, this is Good Morning Orlando with Bud Henninger, Alan Spector, and Melissa Fox.
We heard President Biden pretty much saying, come on now, you need to go out and get the shots. We got the full approval you wanted. Time to pay off on this like you have always said you would.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Bud, how many times have we heard from our listeners, whether on the text line or on phone calls, well, when it's fully approved, then I'll get the vaccine. But as long as it's emergency use, which it has been up until yesterday, I'm not going to. By the same token, I think a lot of other people who have not gotten vaccinated are so dug in, it doesn't matter what anybody says at this point.
Yeah, I've got some friends who've been so dug in, and it scares me because I love them, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose them, but it's up to them. I get it. One of the things they have said is, only emergency authorization, that's not enough. Well, I'm going to see whether they're in now or not, or whether they just find another reason to do it, because I'm just not doing it because they told me to do it. Or politically, where I am right now, I'm not supposed to want to do it, so I'm not going to do it, because if I do it, somehow everybody will think politically I'm a turncoat or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on here with some of this. Oh, my goodness. Somebody reacting to the president pretty much just telling us, you need to get the shot. We haven't seen pure tyranny like this since the Piggly Wiggly put up the sign saying, shirt and shoes required. I'm telling you.
I never understood why pants were just implied.
Yeah. That's never been apparently a requirement.
Again.
Well, let's test it later today. How about you and I, Bud? We walk into Publix and see how it goes.
Sorry, Publix.
You might get away with that in the Piggly Wiggly, but I don't think it'll work in Publix.
Maybe Aldi's.
I'm tired of the man telling me I can't take my pants off in Publix.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The tyranny.
Shoes and shirts.
All right, let's go to Kevin. Welcome in from Palm Bay. Good morning, and nice to have you with us as always, Kevin. Your thoughts on the FDA full approval of Pfizer. What about it?
Well, did that FDA approval include any kind of change to the formula? Or is it better now than it was before? Did it change? I don't think it did.
No, I don't think it's new and improved.
No, I think it's the same formula they've been using, which has already killed a lot of Americans and had adverse reactions.
How many Americans have died, Kevin? How many Americans have died as a result of the vaccine, Kevin?
I read it somewhere, so it must be true.
I'll tell you.
Come
okay?
on.
Tell me.
According to the VAERS database information, over 13,000 have died. Over 13,000.
What database is this?
Okay, that's way more than any other vaccine in the history of the VAERS database.
So hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think it may have saved more lives than you're saying it has cost us?
Never. No, it hasn't saved anybody. There's plenty of people.
Wow.
Yeah, Jesse Jackson and his wife just went into the hospital fully vaccinated.
There is the word.
Fully vaccinated.
Sure.
Fully vaccinated.
Yeah, hey, be with us at 7 o'clock because your point is well taken to this extent, Kevin, and that is this, that Dr. David Klein, Stages of Life Medical Institute, Alan and I have gotten our third shots because he did a blood test, showed that our antibodies had expired pretty much. Well, I just got the third shot. We're going to have my antibody count and see if it's making a difference right now. But that is happening to people. It's happening to some of the politicians who got vaccinated early. We got a bunch of senators with COVID because they lost their protection. So it doesn't last forever. That's the nature of dealing with a coronavirus.
But Dr. Klein has told us that if you had the vaccine, if you were fully vaccinated, even if your antibodies have dropped off at this point to where you're not protected, you're still not going to get as sick as you would have had you not been vaccinated at all. So there is still an advantage to getting vaccinated in the first place, and there may be even more advantage, as we're starting to learn, in getting a booster shot or a third shot.
On another issue I raised, what about a mask mandate for kids in Orange County schools, which I think is where the Orange County School Board is heading. If not today, I'd be surprised. Tom in Winter Garden says no mask mandate for Orange County schools. What else do you see on the text line, Melissa?
Oh, lots of stuff going on. What is the percentage of people in hospital that already had COVID and are infected again? I don't know that we have those numbers available to us, but great question. Why don't you ask the government?
I don't trust the government.
Me neither.
And in a lot of ways, I don't trust them either, but I think there's never been a vaccine created that has been as effective as what we have seen from Pfizer and Moderna and to a large extent from J&J.
FDA approval is an agenda, not because of testing or research. Okay. Where we go? And do you really think DeSantis pulling COVID no mask requirements out of a bag? He's consulting with doctors. Masks are proven not to work.
Oh, I can see that you are now just fake news. I will no longer listen to this radio station. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blah,
we're
blah.
just out here. We got up this morning and say, how can we lie to everyone within shouting distance on the radio? How can we do it?
Everything we talk about on the radio, my newscasts, everything else, we just make it up when we walk in the morning.
Can I just say that's my neighbor and knock it off? All right.
What's that? You know the phone number, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Alan, you got about a 5-minute pack of lies for us? News coming up?
Oh, yeah. Biden facing a deadline decision, and Daytona Beach pays respects to a fallen police officer. Those stories and others, plus traffic and weather together in just 2 minutes. 6:28 on Good Morning Orlando.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Coming live to iHeartRadio stations across America and streaming free on the CW app and CWTV.com. You'll see Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Phineas, Florida Georgia Line, J. Cole, Journey, Khalid, Little Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more. Listen every weekday to win your way there.
Hi, Rick Edelman here. Tune in on Sunday to discover how you should be handling your savings, investments, and all your personal finances. The Rick Edelman Show. Every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on News Radio WFLA Orlando.
When you're in college, sleep is important. But thanks to your studies and busy schedule, you might not be getting enough rest. That old mattress you've had since you were a kid, though, it's just not cutting it. Upgrade your sleep experience with a locally made, hand-built mattress from the Original Mattress Factory. We offer a variety of mattresses, including twin extra long, to suit every comfort preference and to fit every budget. And we offer fast, local delivery as well as pickup 7 days a week at our factory location. Visit an OMF store near you to learn more.
iHeartMedia of Orlando presents CEOs You Should Know, showcasing the leaders and companies that drive our local economy. Meet Janelle Dunn, CEO of True Health, providing high-quality health care at a reasonable cost for 44 years. Visit OrlandoCEOs.com.
You spent a long time tucked into your home, tucked into your auto-playing streaming box. Not anymore. Now you can untuck. Untuck a road trip. Untuck a Saturday tailgate. Then untuck a Sunday tailgate too. Untuck whatever you damn well please. And if you want to look good while doing it, untuck with the shirt made for this moment. Untuck it. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Find your perfect fit at untuckit.com or one of 80 plus Untuckit stores nationwide. Use code SUNNY for 20% off your first purchase.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
It's a smooth ride on I-4 from Deltona to the attractions. Construction still blocks the northbound Greenway at Reinhardt Road. Eastbound on the beach line at 436. Construction blocks the right lane of the exit ramp. Westbound on the beach line, there's a traffic barrel in the roadway at 436. And there's a car bumper in the roadway westbound on the 408 near Orange Blossom Trail. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Take the shortcut to your next great hire. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, Instant Match immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather Forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
6:31 on a Tuesday morning. So glad you're up bright and early with us here on the 50,000 watt front porch, the Bud Man, and we're going to turn it over to my co-host, Alan Spector, to bring us a news update right now. A lot's going on related to Afghanistan. I take a look at the calendar. It's the 24th. We are now 1 week away from what President Biden has said is the end date for U.S. involvement in Afghanistan. More on that with Alan.
Yeah, but is it? President Biden is expected to decide today if troops will stay in Afghanistan beyond next week's deadline. The Taliban warns if they do, the U.S. will be crossing a red line and face consequences. The chairman of the U.S. House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, does not think the U.S. will be able to complete its evacuation of Afghanistan by the deadline.
It's possible, but I think it's very unlikely. Given the number of Americans who still need to be evacuated, the number of SIVs, the number of others who are members of the Afghan press, civil society leaders, women leaders.
Nearly 50,000 people are now out of Afghanistan amid the Taliban takeover. About 11,000 of them left just yesterday.
Live report from Rory O'Neill on all things related to the situation in Afghanistan, 7:42, just over an hour from now.
This news brought to you by Trustco Bank, Florida's hometown bank. Residents and tourists lined International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach yesterday for a procession following the funeral of Officer Jason Rayner. The governor was among over 1,000 people who attended a private funeral for the 26-year-old who died last week from injuries suffered in a shooting 2 months ago. It turns out ending unemployment benefits early did not send droves of people back into the workforce. A study from researchers at multiple universities, including Columbia and Harvard, concluded that phasing the benefits out before they expired on Labor Day did little to address the worker shortage, but it did result in a $2 billion cut in household spending. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to keep the eviction ban in place to help struggling families.
Lawyers for the government say the pandemic has changed unexpectedly and dramatically for the worse. In a document filed Monday, they warn there may be more breakthrough COVID cases due to the surging Delta variant. The current ban expires October the 3rd, but some landlords in Alabama and Georgia are fighting to end it now. Mark Mayfield, News Radio WFLA, Orlando.
C.J. Beathard threw a pair of fourth-quarter touchdown passes, but the Jaguars' comeback attempt fell short as they lost 23-21 to the Saints on Monday Night Football in New Orleans. Trevor Lawrence was 14 of 23 for 113 yards for Jacksonville, which slipped to 0-2. The Jags wrap up the preseason Sunday at Dallas. WFLA News Time, 6:34. You don't have to miss anything on Good Morning Orlando. Get caught up with our podcasts on the iHeartRadio app. And Bud, our first hour continues with Gina Cervetti and the Bloomberg Business Report.
And Gina, as we bring you on from the New York City area, you work in the Big Apple, you live out in New Jersey. Looked at the map, and the remnants of Henri seems to still be spinning around in that area. How's the weather?
Well, it wasn't raining when I came in finally this morning, but it certainly felt like it went on and on and on. Ready for some sunshine.
Enough of that. I think that thing's going to get kicked out by the jet stream to the east, and maybe you'll get your wish. Hey, let's talk stocks, shall we? How did things go on Wall Street yesterday? You've checked the futures this morning. What kind of an opening are you anticipating?
Well, right now we've got some slight moves higher here with the stock futures this morning, so we could move a little bit in the right direction when that opening bell rings later this morning. But yesterday we did see a bounce higher after Pfizer's COVID vaccine was granted full FDA approval. That boosted Pfizer, and it boosted the mood overall. The Dow was up 216, S&P rose 38 and closed near its record high. The Nasdaq jumped 223 yesterday and reached a new record. And we saw the Bloomberg Orlando Index also along for the ride, moving higher yesterday.
You know, we're going to be talking about the prospect of widespread vaccine mandates being the word in the wake of the full approval of the Pfizer vaccine by the FDA. You've got news of a major drugstore chain with a huge presence in Central Florida right on that topic.
Yeah, CVS Health, one of the big drugstore chains that gave out COVID-19 vaccines, is now joining the list of U.S. companies requiring employees to be vaccinated against COVID. The mandate applies to anyone that has contact with customers, nurses, and others that have interactions with patients, along with the corporate employees. They have until the end of October to get the shots. Pharmacists have until the end of November, according to the retailer.
Now to the biggest retailer of all, Walmart. They're launching a delivery service, Gina, but with an interesting wrinkle to it.
Yeah, next time you order delivery from a local company, it might actually be Walmart making the delivery. It's expanding its delivery service with the launch of something called Walmart Go Local, which will offer deliveries for all kinds of companies, ranging from mom and pops to larger national stores, as Walmart looks to broaden its business, puts it in a position that Amazon is familiar with, competing against long-standing logistics providers UPS and FedEx.
Very interesting story out of Walmart there. Facebook. Melissa needs to be listening, and I'm sure she is in the control room because she's all over Facebook, and a lot of you are as well. They're adding a new calling feature, right? What's this all about?
Yeah, Facebook is bringing voice and video calling to its main social networking app. Some users will get this new feature as soon as Monday. Facebook's Messenger app already allows these kinds of calls, but operates as a separate app. And the latest move by Facebook is all part of its efforts to integrate all of its apps and services better. It also owns Instagram and WhatsApp.
You know, I'm looking at the calendar, and technically it'll be autumn 1 month from now. Of course, in Florida, it won't feel like it, but it might smell and taste like it if you show up in the right place. Right, Gina?
That's right. The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. The coffee chain joins Dunkin' in bringing back the famous drink. Talked about Dunkin' doing it a little bit earlier. Both also have their pumpkin cream cold brew in their fall lineup this year, too. They have the pumpkin spice latte, as we mentioned. Starbucks also took the wraps off some other menu items for fall, including apple crisp flavored drinks. And, of course, both of the two chains feature munchable items in those fall flavors, even though, as you said, Bud, fall is a little bit down the line on the calendar.
Yes, it is. Just a little less than a month away. Gina, thank you so much for the Bloomberg Business Report. You bring us every morning at 6:35. Have a great day up in New York City.
Have a great day, Bud. Thanks.
All right, coming up, Pete's going to tell us out of Cocoa Beach why he's not getting the vaccine. Doesn't care about full approval from the FDA, so we'll get his take on that. A lot of folks think there are going to be widespread corporate vaccine mandates coming in the wake of the full approval of the Pfizer vaccine by the FDA. Let's talk about that and how you'll feel about it if it happens where you work. After we update Orlando's news, weather, and traffic in a quick 2 minutes. Good morning, Orlando.
Attention savvy investors. Are you looking to hedge against inflation and receive steady monthly cash flow? How about the safety and security of a real estate investment without the hassles of being a landlord? Maybe you should cash out of some stock market risk and volatility and take some money off the table. Instead, receive 10% annualized monthly payouts with bonuses targeted to 21%. NRIA is an industry-leading real estate development firm in its 15th year constructing strategically located, lower-risk, high-demand properties in unique neighborhoods based on supply-demand imbalance. Call 800-800-1414 to start your due diligence. A great fit for safety-oriented investors desiring monthly cash flow and diversification into carefully curated real estate. Learn more about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Retirement is all about having a dependable income so you can pay your bills and enjoy yourself. Every Saturday and Sunday afternoon at 3, Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert of ProStatus Financial Advisors Group and hosts of the Savvy Investor radio show and podcast offer you smart and simple solutions to help you retire with confidence.
With your income, it has to be a reliable, predictable income stream in retirement.
Listen to the Savvy Investor radio show, Saturdays and Sundays at 3, here on News Radio WFLA Orlando.
Hi, this is attorney Tom Olson. For 35 years, I've been answering your legal questions on my Olson on Law radio show. Join me for the Olson on Law radio show every Saturday at 1, right here on News Radio WFLA.
No one knows you like you. That's why iHeart is giving you your very own station, My Favorites Radio, where the only songs that play are the ones you've thumbed up, plus the biggest songs from the stations you listen to most. The more you hit thumbs up, the more personal My Favorites Radio gets. Trust us, the thumb spraying will be worth it. You can even show off your amazing musical taste and share your station with friends. My Favorites Radio, only on iHeart. Number 1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
iHeartMedia of Orlando presents CEOs You Should Know, showcasing the leaders and companies that drive our local economy. Meet Janelle Dunn, CEO of True Health, providing high-quality health care at a reasonable cost for 44 years. Visit OrlandoCEOs.com.
From the Airflow Designs Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
We're starting to build up a little bit on eastbound I-4 right around Osceola Polk Line Road. Have a car bumper in the roadway westbound on the 408 near Orange Boston Trail, and a construction barrel in the roadway on the westbound beach line near 436. The right lane of the exit ramp from the eastbound beach line to 436 is closed with construction. Looks like they still have the northbound Greenway closed at Reinhardt Road with road work. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Cash.
Take the shortcut to your next great hire. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, Instant Match immediately delivers a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather Forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
How about a COVID-free headline? Will that work for you? Here it is. House lawmakers will have to try again to strike a deal on President Biden's economic agenda. A vote on 2 key plans was delayed last night. Some Democrats are pushing to pass an infrastructure bill now instead of waiting to do it with a separate spending plan. Updates at least every 10 minutes in the top stories on Good Morning Orlando.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, weekdays noon till 3 p.m. News Radio WFLA Orlando.
FDA finally says there's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. Here is Pete reacting to that in Cocoa Beach. Pete, thanks for being a part of our audience and welcome to the show. Where are you on getting the shots?
Well, thanks for having me on. And I think I don't like to hear you say dug in or entrenched or anything like that, because I don't think the average person is dug in.
Okay.
I think this has been presented all wrong, this virus has been politicized to death.
Okay.
It was used to get rid of a president. Think about Joe Biden. What did he say in his campaign? He said, "Elect me. I'm going to kill the virus." Okay, he hasn't killed it, so he's a liar. Okay, and it's stuff like that that's really bothersome. And then the second thing is we've lost our ability to have dialogue and debate on things. Nobody will give me the information I need. It's very hard to find online. I mean, to make a decision.
What is it that? Hang on a sec. Hang on, Pete. Help me out here. You're doing great. We're having dialogue here. You're not going to get the shot, and what is your reason for that? Is there anything that could happen that would cause you to roll up your sleeve and get the shot?
Nothing could happen that would make me get the shot because I've had COVID.
So on that basis, you feel protected.
I know I'm protected. It's been that way all my life with every other disease. My mom and dad sent me to school to get the mumps, so I'd get it and have a natural immunity to it.
Okay.
And I hear a whole lot more people that are fully vaccinated getting the disease. I rarely hear of anybody who's getting reinfected. I mean, I've heard of it a few times, but it's very far and few between. Nothing like whole basketball teams. And that's what I'm talking about, the presentation of this of the vaccine.
Yeah.
They don't even talk about reinfection. I mean, they just say, no, just get it anyway. Even my doctor said, yeah, you got antibodies. You get the vaccine anyway. I said, why?
Okay.
Just do it. Just do it. And that's what you hear about masks. That's what you hear about this.
Okay.
And I've heard things, that it's a new vaccine.
Okay. But the fact of the matter is, you said that, I'm saying everyone's dug in and you're not dug in, but God bless you, my friend. You're dug in. Thank you. Hey, let's hear the president yesterday telling our companies in this country, employers, now you got full approval on this vaccine. You need to force everybody to get it.
If you're a business leader, a nonprofit leader, a state or local leader who has been waiting for full FDA approval to require vaccinations, I call on you now to do that. Require it. Do what I did last month. Require your employees to get vaccinated or face strict requirements.
So, do you want a vax mandate where you work or not? Let's talk about that. 407-916-5400 on the phones, 23680 on the text line. If you're looking for a top-flight air conditioning and heating company in this time of year, well, they're a little hard to find, and when you do find them, maybe the service isn't reliable, the quality of their people is questionable. A lot of fly-by-nighters, but this is not the way it is with Mills Air. I'm so proud to represent this quality local company founded in 1992 by the current CEO, Leon Mills. Great patriot and a terrific guy who runs a great operation. I want you to get to know my friends at Mills Air. Avail yourself of the $69.95 Bud Special. A 20-point tune-up from a Mills Air specialist will be yours. You can book it right now. I'll tell you how. They're a certified carrier dealer at Mills Air. They service every brand. Get the Mills Air Bud Special, $69.95. You call them at 407-277-1159, 407-277-1159. Their website is millsair.com.
Response to International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event has been incredible, but this is it, the final days. You have until August 31st to take advantage of the year's most attractive offer. Get IDC's amazing value price and spread your payments over 3 years with zero interest. And as a special bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. It's incredible, and everything's included. GIA certified diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, thousands of engagement rings, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, pendants, bands, bracelets, the largest selection ever. Get her that $3,000 diamond band and pay just $84 a month. Or if you prefer, you can get an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands during this incredible event. But there's just one catch. This spectacular Summer of Savings event ends Tuesday, August 31st at 6 p.m. and will not be extended. So hurry, pick any item, take advantage of 3 years zero interest financing, and let IDC even cover your first 2 payments. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people will remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're seeing slow traffic now eastbound on I-4 between US 27 and just past Osceola Polk Line Road. Some good news, they have reopened the northbound Greenway, which was closed with construction at Reinhardt Road. The eastbound Beach Line has the right lane of the exit ramp to 436 closed with road work. Have a crash on Tradeport Drive between Orange Avenue and Boggy Creek Road right near Ringhaver Drive. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
Headline and the other big story beyond COVID and the vaccines that we will follow all morning for you. President Biden will reportedly make a decision on extending the chaotic Afghanistan troop withdrawal deadline, which is set for August 21st. Within the next 24 hours, the Pentagon is telling him they need a decision on this. The president has not ruled out an extension amid the chaotic evacuation, but the Taliban, which has a say in this, of course, because they're running the country except for the airport, recently said that would be a red line to keep troops in the country longer than planned. Rory O'Neill with a live update on this at 7:42, our national correspondent. Updates at least every 10 minutes on the top stories on Good Morning Orlando.
From News Radio WFLA Orlando, this is Good Morning Orlando.
So President Biden, you heard him, pretty much told everybody who runs a company in this country, now we got full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. It's time for you to force everybody who works for you to get vaccinated. Are we going to see a flood of corporate vaccine mandates now? That's a lot of what you're hearing in the media, Alan, but I'm not convinced, and I'll tell you why. We have an ongoing worker shortage here. I think a lot of companies are saying, I might like to go that route, but if I do, I might get a lot of people just quit. And if they quit, I've got no business here. I don't know how that's going to play.
Well, we've seen bigger companies so far impose vaccine mandates. In fact, Walt Disney World has just reached agreement with a couple of unions representing their cast members to impose a vaccine mandate. They've given them a deadline of October 22nd to get the shot or get out.
Now, the question is to you, do you want a mask mandate where you work? I mean, you may be personally opposed to them, but here's the question. Do you want it as protection against an outbreak that could hurt or kill the business you work for and cause you to lose your job? That's the question here. How do you think this is going to play, Melissa?
Wait, come back again with the last part about killing the business.
Yeah, well, you know, the theory would be if you had a vaccine mandate, you'd have maximum protection among the workforce from getting sick or worse from COVID, and that would be good, okay? And if you don't have the mandate and you get an outbreak, it could damage or destroy the business you work for and you depend upon for a paycheck.
Well, yeah. COVID's killed a lot of businesses already, so they're already scrambling and doing what they can and getting rid of positions left and right. So I don't see them doing anything more than putting a vaccine mandate in. Just continue clearing house. So yes, it'll be there.
We work for the largest radio company in the world, iHeart. There are 10 stations here under one roof at our headquarters of formats of all kind. A lot of young people work here in these rock formats and all of this, And I just wonder whether they would say, well, we'd like to do a mask mandate, or a vaccine mandate, but we're not going to because we're afraid we're going to lose people we have to have. How do you think iHeart's going to go?
I have no idea.
I got you. Most of these people will just work out of the house. That's all. They'll make it so that you can't come into the office if that's the deal, but they'll just do what they've been doing. Again, the big corporations always find their way around these things. And they have. No offense to iHeart. That's the way businesses work. You cut your losses. And
I think there will be a mask. God, why do I keep doing that? A vaccine mandate issued by iHeart Corporate.
There already is a mask mandate in place, sir.
Yeah, mask mandate.
I don't mean mask. I'm meaning vaccine here. I'm going, I'm talking about vaccines here. I think iHeart will issue one.
Well, I do too. And I'm saying that they'll find a loophole where, one way or the other, that they'll get the people to work from home. We already do.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who are already working from home.
So I don't see it's a non-issue, really.
Who have yet to come back into the office to work.
For whatever reason, because it's easier, because they bought a $1,000 microphone. You know who you are, Super Dave.
And it's funny. I've mentioned this before. Melissa and I, and Chris as well, have all been here every day, every work day during the pandemic. And now when these other people show up, it's like, do you really have to be here? We were fine without you.
You said that about me when I came back 4 months ago because I was out because I had all the risk factors, and they decided I was of more value to the company by a small margin, alive versus dead.
Alan did take me aside. Why did you encourage Bud to come back? And I'm like, I can't do this anymore by remote.
Now I roll in here along with you about 3:30 in the morning and just start harassing you. It used to be peace and quiet. Now it's just nothing but chaos.
That's my point exactly.
Anyway, about the vaccine mandates, I think a lot of businesses are going to try, and bigger ones are going to put it in play. And the reasons that I stated stand because they can. Because they will minimize. They'll find a way to lower their budget. The bottom line is always the most important thing.
Well, and I have no problem with President Biden recommending that businesses impose a vaccine mandate. I don't want to see it forced on anyone. I have said that before in regards to the state of Florida and Governor Ron DeSantis, who I think has gone too far. I think businesses should be allowed to conduct themselves as they see fit, and their customers and clients will do the same.
Melissa, can I throw you a quick curveball and ask you to play, once again, the Biden, this is not a recommendation. This is more like an order to corporate America.
If you're a business leader, a nonprofit leader, a state or local leader, who has been waiting for full FDA approval to require vaccinations, I call on you now to do that. Require it. Do what I did last month. Require your employees to get vaccinated or face strict requirements.
Yeah, he's just saying, I'm calling on you to do this. He's not saying you have to.
Okay. He said require it.
But he hasn't offered any repercussions for those who don't.
You sure he wasn't saying do this or suffer? Businesses do this or suffer strict requirements?
Well, that would mean, if you don't get the vaccine, you got to be tested all the a everything else, a couple of times a week. I think that's what he's talking about there. Dr. Klein has the results of my antibody tests after my third shot. Did it make a difference? I had no protection from the first two that I got last winter. We'll find out from the doctor. Is a live house call coming up here in the 7 o'clock hour. First, though, to the news and Alan.
The Delta variant hitting Florida kids hard, and another school district defies the governor. Those stories and others, plus traffic and weather together. In just 2 minutes, it's 6:58 on Good Morning Orlando.
This is Dr. David Klein with StagesOfLifeVitamins.com. As men get older, estrogen levels increase even as testosterone levels decrease. It starts to get noticeable after the age of 40 when libido decreases. Urinating at night becomes a regular nuisance and things are just not up to par in the bedroom. In short, getting older has some disadvantages to be sure. There are easy answers and solutions available. StagesOfLifeVitamins.com offers products that are helpful under this common scenario. A strong mixture of herbals and amino acids called Stud Mix is designed to inhibit two important enzymatic pathways that lower testosterone. Taken at bedtime, Stud Mix is a powerful, consistent, and very affordable alternative. With a little push-up in the testosterone department combined with decreasing estrogen, the combined effect can be life-changing. Again, 3 capsules of Stud Mix at bedtime. It takes a few months for the nighttime bathroom visits to decrease in frequency, and improvements in performance are generally seen in a few weeks. For more information, please visit StagesOfLifeVitamins.com, Stud Mix.
Listen to Stages of Life Radio with Dr. Klein, Sundays at 4 on News Radio WFLA Orlando.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WFLF Pine Hills, Orlando. WMGF HD3 Mount Dora, Orlando. News Radio WFLA, an iHeart radio station.
Good morning, Orlando. Top of the morning to you here on a Tuesday at 7. Time to update you once again on Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic. Here and now on News Radio WFLA Orlando on FM 94.1, FM 93.1, still on AM 540, and on the iHeart Radio app. I'm Bud Hettinger.
And I'm Alan Spector. Our top story this hour, Florida kids are getting COVID. More in 1 minute.
And after my third shot, the antibody test results are in. Dr. Klein joins us live next on Good Morning Orlando.
Now, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes.
We're seeing slow traffic now eastbound on I-4 between US 27 and just past Osceola Polk Line Road. Some good news, they have reopened the northbound Greenway, which was closed with construction at Reinhardt Road. The eastbound Beach Line has the right lane of the exit ramp to 436 closed with road work. Have a crash on Tradeport Drive between Orange Avenue and Boggy Creek Road right near Ringhaver Drive. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather forecast. Times of clouds and sun with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 90. At the attractions, 78 degrees. 77 in Orlando under mostly cloudy skies. 7:02 on News Radio WFLA Orlando. The Delta variant of the coronavirus is hitting kids hard. Florida's most recent weekly COVID-19 report showed 1 out of every 4 infections happened in someone 19 or younger, with a positivity rate higher than any other age group in Florida.
We see healthy children who need ICU admission. It's going to happen more often in high risk, but we're seeing it in healthy kids too.
Dr. Joseph Perno, Chief Medical Officer for Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, says the Delta variant is 5 times more contagious and younger kids are at risk because they are unvaccinated and oftentimes unmasked. And we're seeing this locally. Health officials say children between the ages of 5 and 14 account for the highest percentage of new COVID infections in Orange County. New cases among the children in this age group represent about 20% of all new infections countywide. Now, that news came out of the latest Orange County COVID-19 update, where the health department's Alvina Chu said that so-called breakthrough cases of vaccinated folks are generally not serious.
Most are asymptomatic or mild cases. Hospitalization rate continues to be very low, as well as the death rate. So greater than 95% of cases are occurring in those who are predominantly unvaccinated.
You can get a free vaccine today at Orlando's Camping World Stadium from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Everyone who gets a shot has a shot at winning tickets to one of a number of big events in Central Florida. This news brought to you by Trustco Bank, Florida's hometown bank. Duval County is the latest school district defying the governor. The school board voted yesterday for a strict mask mandate that only allows exceptions for those who show a doctor's note. The Orange County School Board could take similar action at its meeting later today. A hearing is underway in Tallahassee on a lawsuit against the state by parents who want a school mask mandate. Kristen Thompson of Gainesville has 2 children attending public schools.
People are wearing masks. It kind of protects everybody else from the people who are not, I guess, being responsible by sending their kids to school sick and stuff.
An attorney for the state, meanwhile, said nothing in the ban on mandates stops parents from masking up their kids. 2 new roller coasters delayed by the pandemic are about to open in Florida. SeaWorld Orlando's Icebreaker debuts next February, and Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens in Tampa is set to open in March.
I've seen, a camera's eye view of the Icebreaker running, man. That is some coaster, Alan.
Yeah, and anything with the name Iron Gwazi, I'm not sure I want to get on it.
I don't even know what that is. That does sound scary, though.
It does. The college football season kicks off this weekend, and we've got the forecast as to who will be the top players.
Notre Dame and Iowa State lead the way in the Associated Press preseason All-America football team with 3 first-teamers apiece. The Fighting Irish led by defensive back Kyle Hamilton, offensive guard Kane Madden, and Kyron Williams, while the Cyclones feature running back Breece Hall, linebacker Mike Rose, and tight end Charlie Kohler. 8 teams have at least 2 first-team All-Americans, among them reigning champs Alabama, represented by outside linebacker Will Anderson Jr. and offensive tackle Evan Neal. Only 2 preseason first-team All-Americans are coming off first-team All-America seasons last year. That's Breece Hall and Northwestern safety Brandon Joseph. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
WFLA News Time is 7:05. Find more stories online at WFLAOrlando.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WFLA Orlando. The second hour of Good Morning Orlando starts now.
News Radio WFLA Orlando is available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. News Radio WFLA Orlando, an iHeart radio station.
Good morning, Orlando. Bud Henninger, Alan Inspector Melissa Fox, rolling into hour number 2 with our special guest, Dr. David Klein from Stages of Life Medical Institute in Longwood. He's been on the cutting edge of testing for COVID antibodies. And he gave me a test that showed I had no more protection. And then Alan had one, showed pretty much the same thing because we got our shots. When, Alan? January, February, right?
Exactly. You got your first one in January, second one in February. I got both in February, as I recall.
Yeah, and we were really surprised at that particular point in time. So he authorized us to get 3rd shots, which we have had. I'm a little ahead of you on this, and so the antibody blood test that I had last week, the test results are in. Do I have the protection back? To what degree? And what does it mean? This is not all about me or about Alan, because there are a lot of folks in the same boat, either needing the 3rd shots but not knowing it, or having had them and wondering what difference it might be making as to whether or not they are protected. Lots of questions for the doctor, who always has lots of answers, and he'll be with us next on the 50,000-watt front porch, so we'll head in that direction.
After an update of Orlando's news, weather, and traffic in just 2 minutes on Good Morning Orlando, it is 7:07.
Response to International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event has been incredible, but this is it, the final days. You have until August 31st to take advantage of the year's most attractive offer. Get IDC's amazing value price and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. And as a special bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. It's incredible, and everything's included. GIA certified diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, thousands of engagement rings, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, pendants, bands, bracelets, the largest selection protection ever. Get her that $3,000 diamond band and pay just $84 a month. Or if you prefer, you can get an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands during this incredible event. But there's just one catch. This spectacular Summer of Savings event ends Tuesday, August 31st at 6 p.m. and will not be extended. So hurry, pick any item, take advantage of 3 years zero-interest financing, and let IDC even cover your first 2 payments. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
There's more to Isaac Newton than apples and gravity. On the podcast Newton's Law, you'll hear a different side of the father of physics, who later became England's most ruthless lawman.
So who was this ruthless detective? This hard-bitten crook catcher, totally unmoved by the pleas of a desperate man? It was Isaac Newton. Yes, that Isaac Newton.
Listen to Newton's Law on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When you owe the IRS or state sales tax and can't pay, call J. David Tax Law for effective tax help. J. David Tax Law can stop IRS or state collection actions and protect you from financial ruin. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Broadcasting from the Mills Air Studios. For all your AC needs, go to millsair.com to schedule an appointment.
From the Airflow Designs Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
We're slow eastbound on I-4 from US 27 past Osceola Polk Line Road. On the southbound Greenway at Dowden Road, have an accident. Traffic is backing up from the beach line as a result. There's construction on the right lane of the exit ramp from the beach line to 436. And a wreck reported at Tradeport Drive between Orange Avenue and Boggy Creek Road near Ringhaver Drive. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Are you ready for fall, but your house isn't? Luckily, Lowe's has what you need and the prices you want to get your front yard, backyard, every yard ready to host this season. Gardening and grilling and leaf blowing starts at Lowe's.
From the Airflow Designs Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather Forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. You may have heard that Allstate has new low auto rates, but isn't it time to see for yourself? With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Headlines right now. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's final hours in office coming under criticism. He granted clemency to 6 additional convicted criminals on Monday night, including the driver of a 1981 armored car truck robbery that left a guard and 2 police officers dead. 76-year-old David Gilbert was serving life in prison, will now walk free. Updates for you at least every 10 minutes in the top stories here on Good Morning Orlando.
The news you need and the place to talk about it. WFLA.
Let's bring him on right now. Our special guest, Dr. David Klein from Stages of Life Medical Institute in Longwood. Doc, welcome back to the 50,000-watt front porch. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and it's great to be here.
So you authorized me to get my 3rd Pfizer shot when your antibody blood test showed that I had no essentially remaining protection against the virus. I got the shot on the 28th of July, coming up on 4 weeks ago. Last week I came in and you gave me another blood test, and the results are in. What do they show, Doc?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so essentially you went from 0 protection to very, very good in 3 weeks. So you were at 0, you went up to 6.56. You know, they call them IU, but very basically what this means is that you went from unprotected to protected. But more interestingly is that what I suspect is going to happen, and we're going to prove it together, is that the degree of protection is going to continue to increase over the next 6 or 7 weeks and then start to taper off. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you an indication of how long you're going to be protected and at what point you may need to get that fourth injection.
Doc, help us all out here who are not the medical experts that you are. 6.56. How good is that? And is that maybe higher than what I would have gotten from the first 2 shots last winter or not? What do you think?
More than likely, it's higher than what you would have had. So on average, what we're finding is people that have had the injections will run levels of about 12 to 14 at peak. You're not even close to being at peak. And given the fact that you're at 0 at 6 months, from the last time around, more than likely it's probably going to end up in the 20s or 30s. But that's something we're going to find out together.
So here's the question. It's all about, is it safe to go out and just do the things I used to do, to hug the ones I love? Is it now safe for me to do that at this point, or is it not?
Well, it's a heck of a lot safer than it was 4 weeks ago. So right now, you don't want to go out and do anything stupid. Now, what the immune system does for you is it gives you a degree of protection, but it doesn't necessarily prevent, which is to say it decreases the likelihood of you getting sick, but doesn't eliminate all chances. And it has to do with how much virus that you may be exposed to or ingest in this case. So if you go out and go to the wrong restaurant, go to the wrong pub, eat at the wrong buffet table, it's not going to protect you 100%, but it would most certainly decrease the likelihood of you getting very sick.
Let me ask you another question here, Doc, because this is really important. We've got a really tight family. Could I still transmit this virus to my kids or grandkids? Is that still possible? Does that protection factor into that or not?
Well, it's more likely that the kids would give it to you. So, in all fairness, right now the likelihood of you catching COVID and transmitting to them is far less than having the children who are unprotected give it to other people.
Want to have the grandkids over for sleepovers, Doc. Can we do it?
Yes.
Now you're talking.
But there's no guarantees, Bud. That's the thing.
Well, I'm not looking for an ironclad 100% guarantee, but you don't think that they're particularly a danger to me now, and if I got it, I could survive it, and I'm not a danger in any way to give it to them at this point. Would that be true?
That's the way I read it. Now, there are no absolutes. It to some extent, it's like life insurance. Now, life insurance is a good thing to have to protect your family, but it doesn't keep you from dying. So in this case, the injection is going to keep you from getting very, very ill, and it dramatically decreases the likelihood of you giving it to them.
Doc, we've been hearing reports about the third shot or booster, whatever you want to call it, reports from Pfizer and others saying, well, this is going to be 4 or 5 times more effective than even the first 2 shots that we got back earlier this year. And the results you're showing from Bud and from others seem to substantiate that.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting is we're all going to figure this out and observe it together. This is going to be done in real time. You're going to see the real data flowing out of this system. And why wait around for the government to take care of you? We're all rather independent. We just don't need that. So I've invested about $500,000 in this research, my money, to figure this out, because who wants to wait around for the CDC to screw this up?
Hey, Doc, Doc, real quick. I got a lot of people out there who've had the COVID and survived and all. They feel they have the antibodies now. Do you think that's going to drop off? Will they need a vaccine? And also, do they have the antibodies just from the get-go? Or, how's that work?
Okay. No, you don't have the antibodies, from the get-go. It doesn't work that way. The antibody levels drop off over a period of 60 to 180 days. On average, 90 to 120. So what that does is once you've been exposed, if you're lucky, you're going to end up with T-cell memory, which shortens the length of time that your body ramps up the immunoglobulin response. What that means is that instead of it taking 6 to 8 weeks to get the antibodies, it only takes 2 to 3, as demonstrated with Bud. It only took 3 weeks to get a response that typically takes 6 to 12. That's what it's all about.
Doc,
Now,
hang
if you
on.
wanna put a,
Can you just hang on to a quick break here? I want to ask you what your plan is for me and to track this, and then take it beyond this and speak to everybody out there in terms of these third shots and expiring protection for the shots they've gotten, because it's about far more than Bud or Alan or Melissa. Thank you. Dr. Klein continues with us after a quick update on Orlando's news, weather, and traffic in 2 minutes. Good morning, Orlando.
Hi, I'm Angie with Angie Buys Houses Central Florida, and I'm here to solve your real estate headache. We buy houses in different ways for many different situations and close when you want. We buy with cash, take over mortgage payments, with tenants in place, inherited houses, payments over time so you have continuous income. I can even buy your house, renovate it, and share the profits with you. Call or text me at 407-789-2000 or visit buymyfloridaHouseForCash.com. I'm here to help you with your situation, but to help, we need to hear from you. I'm a local investor buying properties in Central Florida, and I'm looking for more. If you own a house and want to sell it, call or text 407-789-2000 or visit buymyfloridaHouseForCash.com. There's no obligation. We are your real estate solution resource. Call or text 407-789-2000 or visit buymyfloridaHouseForCash.com.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Coming live to iHeartRadio stations across America and streaming free on the CW app and CWTV.com. You'll see Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Phineas, Florida Georgia Line, J. Cole, Journey, Khalid, Lil Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more. Listen every weekday to win your way there.
Baby boomers and retirees, take action now to shield your retirement savings from socialism. Leftists are coming after your retirement accounts. National talk show host and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution will teach you how to get a head start to be retirement tax smart with proven strategies that are saving boomers and retirees thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit taxessaved.com. That's taxessaved.com.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Eastbound I-4 looks slow from US 27 past Osceola Polk Line Road. A crash blocks the southbound at Greenway near Dowden Road. The exit ramp and the southbound lanes are blocked. Also have a wreck northbound on Goldenrod Road, north of the 408 at Bryan Road. There's a crash on Pine Hills Road at Clarkona-Ocoee Road, and an accident on Tradeport Drive near Ringhaver Drive. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Daisy Ash.
Are you ready for fall, but your house isn't? Luckily, Lowe's has what you need and the prices you want to get your front yard, backyard, every yard ready to host this season. Gardening and grilling and leaf blowing starts at Lowe's.
Here's your News Radio WFLA Orlando exclusive Accuweather Forecast. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 91. Then becoming mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 76. Tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds, sunshine, and a high of 91. Then variable cloudiness Thursday with a thunderstorm or two. High 87. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio WFLA Orlando. I'm Holly Holdren.
Headlines now. Residents and tourists lined International Speedway Boulevard and Daytona Beach yesterday for a procession following the funeral of Officer Jason Rayner. The governor was among more than 1,000 people who attended a private funeral for the 26-year-old who died last week from injuries suffered when he was shot on the head on the job 2 months ago. Othell Wallace is now facing a first-degree murder charge. Updates at least every 10 minutes in our top stories for you on Good Morning Orlando.
From News Radio WFLA Orlando, this is Good Morning Orlando with Bud Henninger, Alan Spector, and Melissa Fox.
Continuing now for a couple of more minutes with our special guest, Dr. David Klein, on the issue of COVID protection. And let's move quickly beyond your plan for me, because we've got some questions and comments on our text line from our loyal listeners here. So the plan is what? To have me drop by Stages of Life and get a blood test for antibodies on a weekly basis now, Doc?
Yeah, that would be the way to do it, and you'll be able to actually see the data that we've been waiting for from the government and whatnot for the past year. You'll be able to see it in real time. It's fascinating the way the body works, but it's also very reassuring to know that these systems work in just about everybody. So, yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Is I'd like to see you in the office every Thursday. We'll draw your blood and Linda's too, for that matter, if you want. And we're going to track these things go up, and they should peak again in about 8 to 12 weeks. So what I'd like to do is see you maybe weekly for the next 3 weeks, and then every other week for several times after that. We can track this thing up and back.
All right, I can't speak for Linda. I know you don't have access to her data this morning, but I'll certainly make that opportunity known to her. Doc, thank you. I will definitely be there on your doorstep every Thursday morning after I'm done with the show.
All right, let's go to this text line. Dr. Klein, have you tested anybody who has survived COVID to see what their antibody levels are and what are their results? This is a great question, Doc.
And the answer is, of course I have.
Him!
You know, including myself and my wife. Yeah. And it's fascinating. What was interesting with my wife, who's here beside me right now, is that it took her 12 weeks to develop antibodies after having gotten COVID on New Year's Day. And that's fascinating information. It takes a lot longer to get it up than it does to maintain it and or to get it after the booster or third injection, as I'd prefer to call it.
How about that? So, in other words, my count went up a lot faster with the third shot than if I had gotten COVID. That's a very, very interesting difference, Doc.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one, Doc. I had a breakthrough case. When should I get the booster? And if I started with Pfizer, should I get the Moderna as the booster shot?
Well, I would get the next injection tomorrow, today, next week, whenever you can find it. So the answer is yes. Okay, there is no such thing as a breakthrough case. What happened was your antibodies went away and you got sick again. The idea here is to not get sick. Think about what that's actually costing you. 2 weeks away from work, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks away from your family, or you get a booster shot.
So, Dr. Klein, someone is saying that you aren't telling us that none of these vaccines actually stop the virus, just mitigate the risk. I could have sworn you said that people.
That's exactly correct. Melissa, yeah, there are no guarantees in life. It'd be like saying, hey, gee, those seatbelts are going to keep me from dying in a head-on injury.
Yeah. Okay, this pencil makes me smart.
Hang on. Here's another text here. It says, Doc, you're wrong. You can still be a carrier of the virus.
Well, I like being wrong, but I'm not in this case.
Oh. Okay.
So you're saying I now have protection, and I am not going to be a carrier of the virus.
Yeah, if to prove it, we could do a PCR, but that would be a huge waste of money. The fact of the matter is that the likelihood of you carrying the virus is about zero. You know, I have tested maybe 50,000 people to this point. And what I will tell you is that people don't walk around, look pretty normal, and then weeks and weeks and weeks down the line still shed the virus. That is utter, absolute nonsense.
When is COVID going away? Is it ever going away is a question on the text line.
All pandemics, all epidemics eventually end. And generally this occurs sometime after you see herd immunity. That's expected to happen in the state of Florida sometime next month. So coronavirus has been around forever. We've been testing for coronavirus for the past 5 years. Not this serotype, but for 5 years we've been checking for coronavirus for other issues, for SARS, MERS, and whatnot. So those were much more worse, much as horrible illnesses with 30 to 35% fatality rates that went away. This is going to go away also.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry, but we have 1 minute or less left. For people out there, what is the message to those who got the shots some time ago? What do they now need to do, in your view?
It's going to be available, to the best of my understanding, widely in September. That's a week away. Make plans, make arrangements, and get it. In my opinion, it's your patriotic duty to keep our country open, to keep your family fed, and to keep working, because somebody out there has to.
All right, my friend. We can catch you on Stages of Life Radio Sunday afternoons at 4 o'clock right here on this here radio station. Dr. Klein, thank you so much. Go to FloridaLaboratoryAnalysis.com for more information on any of these tests.
Doc, I will see you on Thursday morning. And the reason I'm willing to do this is they have the best needle stickers at Stages of Life you ever met. I couldn't even feel it. They're so good. And boy, that makes a difference for me, Alan, because I'm not a big fan of the old needle.
I'm happy for you.
Well, you'll be following in my footsteps. How about news at the bottom of the hour?
Is the Afghan deadline a red line, and COVID invades a local sheriff's office? Those stories and others, plus traffic and weather together and elsewhere in just 2 minutes. It's 7:28 on Good Morning Orlando.
Response to International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event has been incredible, but this is it, the final days. You have until August 31st to take advantage of the year's most attractive offer. Get IDC's amazing value price and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. And as a special bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. It's incredible, and everything's included. GIA certified diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, thousands of engagement rings, designer jewelry, colored gemstones, pendants, bands, bracelets, the largest selection ever. Get her that $3,000 diamond band and pay just $84 a month. Or if you prefer, you can get an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands during this incredible event. But there's just one catch. This spectacular Summer of Savings event ends Tuesday, August 31st at 6 p.m. and will not be extended. So hurry, pick any item, take advantage of 3 years 0 interest financing, and let IDC even cover your first 2 payments. Now through the end of August only, and only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every